Hello everyone and welcome to Club Deck Corner here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, in a week of no one cares and is it next Wednesday yet. I am your host Scott Carney and joining me is Alistair Pearson. First of all, how are you, mate?
Very well. Counting the days down till I start working Friday. I'm going to be absolutely useless at work this week, to be honest. All folk keep asking me this week, is you going to Seville? That's all they keep asking. I'm like, yes, I will be there.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, mate. That's all I've had. When's your flights booked? I'm like, I'm not going. I've been called all names under the sun, mate, because I can't actually go, which is pretty poor for me, but it is what it is. That's what it is. Scotia, how are you?
Yeah, Carney, I'm very, very well because today my passport arrived. So, yes,
Get it
Seville,
out. Let's
here I
have a
come.
look.
I am on my way. That's saying safely locked away somewhere so nothing happens to it.
That's a very wise thing to do with you, mate. That is a very wise thing to do, is to lock that away somewhere that you can't get access to it. In fact, I would actually, next time you see Alistair, I would give it to him.
Just give it to me.
To be completely honest, yeah. Ryan, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, boys. I'm all right. 8 days to go. If anybody's counting, and God, it's going to be a long 8 days. But yes, all good here. I'm just desperate for this game now. It really feels like it's starting to boil a bit now. You're reading things, and obviously rumours have started about Seville and all the nonsense about the pub shutting and stuff like that. But it does not matter what happens. The boys are going to have the best time ever over there. It's going to be exceptional.
Absolutely. We were speaking there just before we come on, mate, and there is. I genuinely, I know this sounds ludicrous, it does, but I just don't think it's sunk into me yet. Like, it's not fully sunk in what we could actually be achieving. And I know, like, I'm so excited about it. I can't stop thinking about it, and I think about it far too much than I should, mate. But it's a weird thing, isn't it? I can't remember anything like it before.
Nah, definitely not for me anyway. Like I said in the last one, seeing 2008, I think we were all just happy to be there. But see the thought process, I don't know about you guys, but the thought process for me now is, and I'm talking the thought process in between singing the John Lundstrom song, is we're not just in a final, we're in a European final that we can win. We have a chance of winning this. There is no doubt about that. Whereas against Zenit, and the way we played and how we got to the final, you knew we were reaching, getting to that final. There's no reaching about this team. This team have earned the right to be there, and more than earned the right to be there. And they're in such a position where make us dream it as a reality.
Not a half, man. Really not a half. Scotia, you've not been on a podcast since this was all confirmed, mate. So literally, mate, the floor is yours.
Yeah, to be honest, it's been really, really strange because I'm absolutely loving that we got there. I thought you guys covered the post-match and the pod on Friday night there really brilliantly and kind of echoed all the thoughts I had. But to be honest, I've been having like highs and lows because my passport hadn't arrived. And I've got that wee fear in the back of my head that, oh no, all this and it's not going to come in time and things like that. So now that it arrived this afternoon, I've just kind of relaxed and really enjoyed it because, as I say, I've been going through periods of going like, this is amazing, we're here. And then I'm going like, in the back of my mind, oh, I might not be there. But thankfully the passport's arrived. So now I'm absolutely buzzing. It's like Ryan there. I genuinely think we've got a good chance come next Wednesday evening. Like he says, the amount of games, cup replay games we had to play back in 2008 because of the way that we were playing, that really hampered, and it was like a game every 2 days or something like that. It felt like this time round, it just feels that wee bit different, and I think everyone's buzzing. I just can't get to sleep at night because I've got John Lundstrom songs going off in my head. I've got like, what I'm going to do when I get out to Seville going off in my head. It's can't wait. It's going to be. I've never really been in a proper kind of away trip with Europe. I don't really class going down to Manchester for the final there as an away trip because you're still in the same country, really. But I'm so looking forward to this. I can't wait. I'm just hoping that Rangers put out a wee email that says that the MyJars points have now dropped down to the level for me, so that I can apply for a ticket, because I'm thinking about 100 odd points away from where the cut-off point is at the minute. So I'm praying and hoping that happens. But I severely doubt it.
Yeah, I think that I would love for nothing more for both of you to get a ticket. Generally, I would. Not even that's not me being. There's no double edge to that. There's no double slap to that. I would genuinely love for both of you to, and I think you're going to miss out by the tiniest of wee bits, man, which is going to be a right shame. Look, Ali, it's not going to take away from your experience you're about to go on. All we can hope for, mate, or all you can hope for, is that you and Scotia go to Seville and Scotia doesn't go to Spain.
It's I know. See the MyJers thing. I'm same as Scotia. I'm like 70 points away at the moment. They're dropping the tiers slowly, and it's like. But to be fair, we're playing in a stadium in Seville that only holds 40,000, which I think is ridiculous for a final of a European trophy. Regardless if it's us or Frankfurt playing in it, it's 40,000. And then the way they distribute the tickets, UEFA again, it's like it's solid to get tickets, and there's ticket touts out there at the moment selling them for. Yeah. We were talking to somebody in the Viceroy the other day, and the fact that it was actually a Celtic fan that obviously put in to get tickets to sell them, obviously. $4,000 a ticket. So 12 grand that person's got, which is scandalous, man. See, if I had a ticket for Seville and I couldn't go, I would give it at face value to a fellow player. I would never overcharge them. And folk it's not just football matches, it happens in all forms of ticketed events, but it's a scandal at times. But I just want to be there for the atmosphere. I want to soak it up, and that's what I'm there for. And I'm buzzing for it. I felt for Scotia when he went to Belfast, because I know he's been shiting himself to be polite, whether it's going to come, whether it's not. He's read horror stories on Twitter. Don't go online that comes 8-9 days past, and I was worried for him. I was worried for myself, because I thought I might need to go myself or with some random person in Scotia's seat. So it's good that Scotia's got his passport, and us two clowns can go to Seville together. So whether we'll return or not, it's another story, but I'm just buzzing for it.
Yeah, I just hope Scotia stays with you, mate, because I've been abroad with Scotia before, and it
doesn't
go very well. You will get one of them, like one of these shock
extendable things.
Yeah, and if he gets any further than a mile away from you, you get shocked and has to walk back towards you. Scotia, see, when you went to Belfast, did you come across anybody that was kind of doing the same thing as you? And kudos to you, by the way, mate. That's commitment and a half what you went and done.
No, there wasn't, but there was a boy from down in London way, I think, that was in front of me, because he had a really loud voice and I could hear his whole conversation with the wee lady. But I think he was flying out next Sunday, and the way he was going, he was moving house or something, and the passport couldn't get delivered. But I don't think he was going for the Rangers game, or I think he was just going for a holiday by himself or with someone. But they seemed, the way I got, the vibe I got from them was like, no, they would get their tickets in time for their flight on Sunday. So once I heard that, I was like, no, that's brand new. But there was no one else in the passport office when I was there that looked as if they were going to be going to Seville. People are more sensible than me, because I know you did say that my passport was out of date, which I suppose technically it is, but it isn't, because it runs out on the 1st of June. And then it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that I was like, oh, bloody hell, Brexit means that won't work. I'll need like an extended period on my passport before I can travel. So it was only then it clicked, because when I booked everything for Seville, I was like, no, the 1st of June, no, that's fine. It completely went out of my head about Brexit, and then the kind of needing the 3 months on your passport before you can travel. But thankfully, it's all managed to work out in the end.
Well done, mate. Well, it's better than mine. Mine went out of date in June 21, mate. So I've got no chance of leaving this country with that passport. That was like a massive clang for me. I was like, well, I can't even go. I've explained my reasons why I'm not too bothered about it. I would have been devastated if I got a ticket. However, I'd have been like, what? But I think I'm underused just. In the MyJers thing, I'm a wee bit underused, so there's no chance in I'm going to get anywhere near a ticket for that. But yeah, I mean, the buzz is just incredible just now. It really is, and I cannot wait Can't wait for next week already. Look, we've been 10 minutes here and we've not even spoke about our usual kind of Club Deck Corner stuff. So we will try and get to some form of Rangers stuff with probably a lot of Seville stuff fired in the middle of things. But you can probably all understand why we're all rather feeling good about life just now. It's pretty good. So, right, before we get into anything, just a wee t-shirt update for those that you placed an order for the t-shirt and this wee batch of orders that are done. The orders are placed, they are done, they are being printed as we speak, and I will keep you updated as much as I can. The reason I've done this the way I have is because it's much easier for me to control once everything comes in. Instead of dribs and drabs coming, it's all coming at the one time, which is much easier for me to control. So I'll keep you updated. I hope I can get it to you by the end of next week, but I can't promise anything. But you know me. If you need to contact me, you know where to get me. I'll keep you fully updated as much as I know. But thank you to everybody that did make an order. I absolutely delighted with the amount of people that did. So thank you very much. They still are on order, by the way. If you want to go on now and do another order, you can. I'll probably not do another one until the end of the season, until after the Hearts game is over and done with, then I'll deal with it at that point. So probably the Sunday or the Monday after the Hearts game, I'll probably stop and do another kind of bulk order at that point. So if you still want a t-shirt, you can still get them. The orders are still there. You can still make an order. So that would be great. Thank you to everybody. And you can join the channel by paying only 99p per month to help support us. You can also buy the podcast a coffee. All the links for that are below. You can become a Coffee Buying Legend membership if you want, which is amazing, and staunch points for life if you want to do that. And as always, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hello to our new subscribers, as well as obviously the Club at 22 loyal. Hello, but we have to quite a jump up in the last couple of weeks. So hello to everybody. Thank you very much for choosing to subscribe to us and join the community. Get involved in the comments because we've got a wee community in there, and you'll get to know some of the big hitters. That's for sure. So please do get involved in the comments. So right, we'll go to actual football things now. Rangers' last game, not that anybody really cares, was against Dundee United on Sunday. A convincing 2-0 win for a much changed squad. A good performance. Minutes in the legs of players who haven't perhaps featured much lately. 4 academy players were in this side. A goal for Diallo. Ryan, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, it sounded. Obviously, I didn't go to the game on Sunday because my youngest was playing a tournament through at Tynecastle, so I did miss it. But I did watch highlights, and it sounded a pretty routine win for Rangers. But I'm glad that he gave players a rest. I had no surprise seeing Tavernier and Goldson in the squad because I just don't think they want to rest. I think they're just engines who want to play as much football as they can. So he's probably had to drag them off the pitch. But yeah, it's exactly what I wanted to see for them. Van Bronckhorst resting big players like Bassey and Lundstrom, and bringing in a bit of youth, bringing in some squad players. This is what I wanted to see weeks ago, but I get why he didn't do it because the league wasn't technically over, and it's not really the done thing to just give it up, really. So I get why he didn't do it a couple of weeks ago. But this is what we need to do now. I think, as Scotia's alluded to, we're in such a better position than we were in 2008, where Van Bronckhorst can rest players. He's got, what, is it 2 games left? No, it's Ross County, then Tynecastle on Saturday.
Yeah, 2.
So he's got 2 games. He can just literally do what he wants with it. He can play the young boys. He can try and keep minutes in the legs with the players that he's wanting to play in Seville. It's a really privileged position he's in. Yes, the league season's not ended where we want it to, but yeah, I was happy with the squad. Happy to see who the goal scorers were. Great to see a penalty again. Always good to see a penalty. It was unfortunate how stonewall it was. I was hoping it was a bit of a dodgy one, but no, it was a stonewaller. But we're not supposed to take those either. Looked as if they played well. It looked as if they were quite direct, Carney. Diallo looked quite fresh as well. I liked that. There was a wee 1-2, a bit of play with Stephen Davis and Arfield in the first half. That was a nice bit of play. They really cut Dundee United up. And yeah, routine win for Rangers and got some minutes in the players' legs. But there'll be a couple of players there as well that played. If you think of Stephen Davis, maybe Scott Arfield, who'll be thinking, I want to play in that final. I want to be in that starting lineup, and they've got every right to think that. So I think he's been wise with his squad. His squad selection at the weekend, and my dad went on Sunday, and he had nothing but good things to say about the young boys that played. Apparently they were a breath of fresh air, and yes, long may that continue.
Yeah, definitely. Ali, it was a real good feeling at Ibrox. It was a nice atmosphere. You could tell there's like, we were there, me and Jamie were over early enough anyway, back at 2 or something like that, and people walking about with sombrero hats and stuff like that on, and it was just a real good feeling around the place, and it was good to see, I think, on making so many changes to the team, maybe a wee bit more than some may have expected. I know, obviously, the league wasn't technically over, and it still technically isn't over, but I think we need to win 21-0 or something. I don't know. It's something absolutely bonkers. So it was the right thing to do. But at Ibrox, in the first half, I think we just have to be happy that, well, what I was happy about is the attitude remained the same. It didn't really seem like it'd have been very easy for both of the teams just to knock into neutral, mate, and just not really give anything at all. But I thought Rangers were still very much pressing and still trying their hardest to get the goal. And maybe the only frustration for the first half is that we didn't get the goal, but that's going to happen with a much changed squad.
Yeah, I thought Rangers were very good. I didn't think they dropped their stance at all. I know they brought in fringe players, if you want to say. Dundee United were playing for something in that game, by the way, because Ross County's breathing down their neck in terms of 5th place gets a European spot. Yep. So they had something to play for. Dundee United. You would have thought they were in holiday mode, Dundee United, because I don't know what they were Ibrox for. They offered absolutely nothing. Apart from diving about the park all the time. That Tony Watt, honestly.
An embarrassment.
God. Oh, honestly. Diving umpteen times. But anyway, no, I thought Rangers were very good. The first half, it was... we were unlucky not to go in, but it was always coming. The second half, Scotia come down and sat beside me. Usually when Scotia comes down, Rangers score. That's what happened. Stonewall penalty. Good play by Ramsey. Ramsey frustrated me the first half because he was off. I said to you, Karen, he was off it. Second half, I thought he picked up a wee bit before he came off, but he done well to slip in the man for Zambi, and it was a Stonewall penalty. And obviously the man, Diallo, we got to sing his song, but I thought he was very...
Is this
whatever it was.
I don't know what it is. So something like this.
He was very... Two of their hammer throwers booted him instantly within a minute. So, I mean, he was taken out of the game, but fair play to the boy. He could have hit then, but he didn't. He went and took one of the hammer throwers on, put the ball over his head, skinned him down the wing. I thought he was very impressive, Diallo. I need to try and pull myself back and go, just remember that the game was pretty much dead and buried. It's a bit of a dead rubber, but he was impressive. But the one man in that park who we all raved about, and we've raved about this season, and we've seen him in the B team, is Lowry. He is miles ahead of players. And he's surely got to be looking at possibly maybe being a first pick in that Rangers team next season, because his football and brain, he's miles ahead of players. He gets a ball, he wants the ball, and his first thing, head up, and he wants to slip the ball forward. We've seen it umpteen times. He's a joy to watch, and he's a very special talent for us moving forward.
100%, mate. Scotia, I'll come to you. Obviously, no, you can obviously add more to the game, but there isn't really much more to add to it. But we'll stick with Lowry. He is. It's hard to not. I've actually had somebody today in work made comparisons to Ian Durrant early on that about just how good this player could be. We always, as Rangers fans, get a wee bit excited about young talent coming through because we genuinely love to see it. We do. However, I am taking Nathan Patterson into this as well. Lowry is the most exciting youth player that I've seen Rangers have in years. Genuinely, I think he's destined for big things.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really like Lowry. He's got this a bit of callousness, but it's like arrogance, but it's an understated arrogance. He's not over the top with it. He knows he's good, and he goes and plays it. And like Ali was mentioning to me during the game, like he's always got his head up, looking for a pass forward. He's always like that. He's never looking to pass the ball back. Lowry was brilliant when he came on. Him, McCann, and Adam Devine got about 35 minutes each. So no, it was really good to see them come on. I did note that he wasn't playing in the Glasgow Cup yesterday, so that maybe sends signals on what's going to be happening with him in the first team for the next couple of games, that he didn't feature in that. But no, Lowry was absolutely brilliant, and he does excite me because we kind of we missed out in Gilmore because he got kind of taken away when he was far too young from us down to Chelsea. So we didn't really get to see him break through. But I think Lowry is this next player that gives you that excitement, and we've probably not had it since Fleck coming through at the back those years. So when he was coming through now, yeah, it's looking exciting. I know we'll get on to his contract. We'll discuss that a wee bit later, but that's good news for me. So yeah, no, the young boys that came on were really good. But in terms of the game as well, and who was my man in the match, and I thought was really, really good, was Leon King, who at 18 years of age just strolled that game. And I was like, well, I'll love to see stuff like that. He reminds me of when Danny Wilson was coming through, but probably slightly better than Danny Wilson, a bit bulkier at this stage. He's only 18-year-old, a bit bulkier. He looks as if, I mean, I know we've been raving about him for the last couple of years, and I know the youth team guys all have big high hopes for him, but he impressed me, particularly as well. He switched out to left back when Barisic came off, and he strolled that in there as well. So I thought King had a really good game, and also he wasn't featured in that game the other night either. So yeah, these sort of games are looking really good for some of the kind of younger players that we've got in about Rangers.
Definitely. Ryan, I know you weren't there. Scotia made that point there about King. He did get moved out to the left-hand side, and Lowry probably wasn't playing in his conventional role. I feel like he was definitely more out to the left-hand side when he first came on. I know this is very easy to say, and it's probably quite an easy comparison to make, or a kind of point to make, is there's a man in that team just now that we all know and we all love, Big Scouse John. He will play anywhere. If you give him a set of goalie gloves, I'm pretty sure he'll play in goal. And I think it's such a good thing for a player to make an impact the way that he has in terms of Lundstrom, that he is choosing to play. He'll play anywhere. He's played in a back three. He's played at the right of back three. He's played in the middle of the pitch. He'll literally do anything. And if these players are seeing that, they know, okay, no matter where I'm getting called upon to play, I have to play. So I suppose this is only a good thing, these last couple of games for the youth players, but especially for Lowry, mate. And Scotia mentioned it, mate. 3 years he's signed on for. Are the club protecting themselves here? Probably an element of that in it, yeah. But I think it still shows from the comments that he made that he's quite keen to make a name for himself here.
Yeah, he's an ambitious young boy. There's no doubt about it. He's, I think King as well. I think King's another one who's mature, looks ahead of his time. I think it's a great signing by Rangers, getting him in a 3-year contract, because I'd heard a lot of noise about him, and this is just, it's like building site talk or whatever you want to call it, that whether he wasn't happy or his dad wasn't happy, there was something not right about the game time he was getting under Gio. And if that's the case, and you think you should be playing for Rangers and you're not, nature takes its course and you move on. So I was thinking to myself, with the noise that was happening, that he was going to move on, Carly. So I think Ross Wilson has taken a battering at times because of Ramsey and Diallo not working out and maybe not doing the business for us. And he's taken a battering on social media from certain corners of our support. But he's done the job. He's got Lowry tied down, and 3-year contract. Yes, I think it is an element of us protecting ourselves, because if Lowry gets to the levels of Billy Gilmour, he will move on. There is no doubt about it. He can play. If he keeps showing what he shows, he should walk it in Scotland. He really should, because he does. When he said he plays with his head up, he literally he never looks at the ball. He's just constantly looking for a pass and looking to move it forward. So yeah, for me, Lowry does look a bit special, and yeah, 3-year contract is great bit of business, and long may it continue, because we've waited a long time for a conveyor belt of talent coming from Auchenhowie. Auchenhowie was built circa 22 years ago, I would say, under Advocate, I think it was. And we've not produced the talent that we should have. There's no getting away from it. But now we are starting to see your Pattersons, Lowrys, Kings. I heard this boy Devine is it Devine you call him? I heard he looks decent. I'm starting to see these boys coming through now. Charlie McCann, who's impressed me a lot, and I don't usually watch the B teams, but I've started watching them this season because of the talk, because of the hype that I'm hearing, and I'm excited with these boys coming through. Charlie McCann very much is my type of player. And yeah, long may it continue. There's something's working at Auchenhowie at the moment, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I think the B team getting put into the lone leagues it's been a good thing. And Ali, was it McCausland?
He's the winger.
The winger. So again, he's another one that we've spoken
about. Tony Weston as well.
Tony Weston, mate. Yeah, he scored. How many has he scored this season? A ridiculous amount of goals, hasn't he?
Over 30 goals, I think, yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous amount of goals. So I think this is proof. I know we're going a wee bit off topic here, mate, but this is proof that the Lowland League thing is going to work for the B team, and it will toughen the boys up. It will make them develop. It will make them bulk as well. And I think McCausland is another one for me that I'm very excited to see him, especially when he finishes his physical program, if you like. I'm excited to see him come up and get game time.
Yeah, no, it's been worthwhile, the B team going into the Lone League, and we've went to a couple of games. We were going to go to one with a game postponed because Dumbarton's ground was absolutely woeful that day. Remember, me, Ryan and Scotia were meant to go down and it get called off a couple of hours before. But it's good that you can actually get access to the B team this season. You can go down to Dumbarton. It's not, I don't know what it was, £7 or something, £3 for kids, something like that. So it's buttons in the grand scheme of it. Get to see the youth players. It's a good thing to take a young kid to try and lead them in to watch Rangers, to take them to a place like Dumbarton where it's a lower crowd. So it's good for all that as well. So no, I think it's a great idea. Playing at Ibrox, the B team where we all went to against Celtic, another good experience for them. They've played at Parkhead. They've won the 2 games. So yeah, and that's what the B team's there for. There's got to be a pathway. There's no point having a B team if there's not a pathway into the first team. And these boys would have seen Nathan Patterson in that pathway in and thought, well, if he can do it, we can do it. And you're beginning to see these boys come through, and yeah, that's what it's there for. And yeah, we will lose players because the Sharks and the Premiership and other places will come down and just give us big money. But at the end of the day, you look at teams like Chelsea and that, their reserve teams and everything, they cherry pick boys from around the world. You never hear from them, but they move them on for big bucks. And it's they come up and they'll do that to us. But end of the day, yeah, we want to see these boys, and hopefully we do, but we will make money from this B team, and it'll help Rangers in the long term. So no, it's good. It's good so far.
Yeah, so yeah, I see we got from the end of the Dundee United game to the rounding up the B team there, which is a really good thing to do. No, it's a good thing to do because I think that shows you how much we're looking forward to this youth player that's coming in. We all want to see this for the last couple of games of the season. We've been crying out for it, especially Lowry. I know he's had problems with injury. Excuse me. Sorry. So no, I'm looking forward to it. Scotia, you want to round up the B team and the women's team for us just now, mate?
Aye, well, we may as well. The B team won the Glasgow Cup against Queen's Park last night, winning 3-1, which is great for them. Like I say, Lowry and King both weren't in the team, but you had your likes of Weston, McCausland, Cole McKinnon's one that we've not mentioned. He impressed me in the Old Firm B team game, and you get Murray Miller at the back there. And in the B team as well, there's a few boys that are out in loan, like James McPake and Maxwell out at, I think he's down at Ayr United, that have had fairly decent seasons as well, that you kind of forget about the ones that are out in loan. And Stephen Kelly maybe kind of fits just above that kind of age bracket, but he's out in loan as well. So it's looking promising for the kind of youngsters coming through at Rangers. And then yeah, just a congratulations to the women's team who managed to secure the SWPL on Sunday there with a 0-0 draw against Glasgow City, which stops their 14th year dominance in the Scottish game. So we've got a Champions League to look forward to, and no, it's looking good for the women's team as well. I know we don't really give it much attention. I'll watch it when it's on, if it's on, but unfortunately the way that they kind of schedule it, it tends to clash with an awful lot of our games on the Sunday. I don't know if the women's team or the women's league itself are joining the SFA rather than the SWPL. So I don't know if that's maybe something that'll work out, that'll maybe be able to do something that it won't clash with the men's first team, because obviously for us the men's first team's always going to be the priority. But if they manage to switch that, I mean, I'll certainly sit and watch that if that's on. Like I remember watching the Old Firm women's game that was on BBC Alba on Sunday afternoon, and just had that on in the background. So no, congratulations to both those teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think the women's team as well, there was quite a lot of investment put into it. So they were getting to the point where they were going to have to win the league, and they have done so. And congratulations to them for it. That's that's brilliant. Really good in the B team as well. It's the end of a real good season. Sorry, I've got a frog. I thought I don't know what's going on. Sorry. Right, so before we move on, just a word from our sponsors. Summer is here. The sun is shining. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on in my throat. That's not even part of the promo, by the way. Excuse me. Summer is here, the sun is shining, shirts are off, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and get ready for summer by going to manscaped.com. Use the code CLUB@22 for 20% off and free shipping. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare that summer bod. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver, the ball toner, which is Scotia's favourite, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Want to take your grooming game even further? Take a look at the Manscape Shears 2.0. A package that has everything you need to look pristine. Nail cutters, tweezers, and grooming scissors. With a performance package, your balls will be ready to impress. But make sure you cover the rest with the Shears 2.0. And you'll be ready to perform from head to toe. So get 20% off and free shipping by using the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. This is the summer to turn your package into the full package with Manscaped. Ryan, what will your balls do?
Their balls will thank you.
They will, thank you. Thank you again to Manscaped for the continued support. Their products really are superb, so go and check their stuff out. And if you use their code, you'll be supporting our podcast. So thank you to everybody that's done so far. And apologies for whatever's going on with my throat right now. I really don't know. Usually my throat goes like that when I'm trying not to cry, but I'm not really at the point of crying anymore. So no, I'm apologies. I think I'm over it. Just before we move on then, gentlemen, we'll talk about the new kit. I just wanted to come back to contracts again. Obviously, Scott Arfield has signed a 1-year extension to that. Ryan, for you, is this a good move? And is there anybody else in that team, the likes of maybe Davis, possibly Aaron Ramsey, if there's a deal that could be done? And I'll come to one right at the very end that you might be quite interested to hear. But is good move by Rangers to keep Arfield on? And what about the rest?
Gio likes him. Gio likes Arfield. I think he's his type of player, as we say, breaks the lines. Arfield he's that player who comes out of nowhere, as we know, plays well for 4 or 5 games, scores goals, and then just doesn't fall off face there, just loses that form, and that's why he's here. If he was consistent, he would be down in the Premier League with kind of a lower team. He's a good utility player for us. I was probably, when we lost the league, or when we were at a stage where we were kind of writing the league off, I think I was ready to just clear the decks and just had enough of them all. But listen, how can you be that? Scott Arfield's such a good squad player to have, and he gives you that dig as well. But he's a bit different to anybody else we've got that plays kind of midfielder up front. He's just, I think it's a good bit of business from Rangers, and giving him the one year contract also makes sense. In terms of others, Ramsey, it's a no for me. I still hear people talking like, would you play Ramsey? No, I wouldn't, because who am I playing Ramsey in front of? Am I playing Ramsey in front of Davies, Ryan Jack, Glenn Kamara? No, I'm not. I play them before Aaron Ramsey every day. Yes, I know Aaron Ramsey is a great footballer. Yes, he needs a pre-season. I don't want him, excuse me. Is this contagious, this thing that you were doing?
I don't know what's going on. Is there something happening over the computers here? What is this?
The heck? I just started trying to clear my throat. Sorry, excuse me. Aaron Ramsey. Yes, I wouldn't take him, because I don't want us to get to the stage that Juventus are like, and they are desperate to come off the books. If it was a pay-as-you-play, then I would take that. I don't see him wanting to do that. I think he would probably like to go down south and get maybe a championship team or something. He needs a pre-season under his belt. It's clear as day. He's got nice touches. He's a good player, but it's a no for me. Who else are we talking about? Who else is running their contract? Balogun? Is Balogun one?
Goldson.
Balogun's a no for me. I think he's been a great player. Unless it was another 1 year contract and kind of low money, then maybe I would take him as a squad player. I want Rangers to get their defence in order for next season. I want that title next year. I want a tight defence because it's not been tight this year. I know we've had a great run in Europe. I know things have been brilliant recently. But let's not forget defence has been poor in the league this year. So I want things tightened up. Goldson is so difficult. I don't think I can give you an answer to that because he's Mr. 7 out of 10 every week. He really is. He's so consistent, and yes, he's prone to the mistake. I seen his brain fart at the weekend where he tried to pass the ball past John McLaughlin. But he has that, and he'll always have that. And I get he's another one. If he didn't have those moments, he would be playing in the Premier League. So I think Connor Goldson is as good as a defender as you will get up here. I really do. I think he's solid. In Europe, the past couple of games, he's been outstanding. He's won every header, almost every header. And why have we been at the table for so long? If he did sign now, I would be asking, why has he not signed before? Is it this European thing that swayed him to sign? I would be questioning his attitude. So I'm probably in the minority, and I would say, no, thank you, Connor. You've been a great servant, but no.
Oh, Ali, I was about to move on from this, and I don't think I can with that. I would do everything I could to keep Connor Goldson here. I really would. I know he might be seeing how things are going to turn out. However, your point about him probably being the best kind of defender we could get in Scotland, I think he is. I think that I don't think you'll get much better than Goldson. People used to say it was Hollander. That was number one centre back. Not a chance. Our number one centre back is Connor Goldson. I think he's gonna proven that a wee bit. Ali, I think we all agree on Arfield, by the way, after what Ryan said. I think we all get why Arfield's staying. So, but for Goldson, would you do everything you can to keep him here? Yeah.
But I get there's a wage structure Rangers need to keep to, because we can't be going over that, and Ross Wilson said that. So if Goldson's wanting over the wage bracket we can pay, unfortunately, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you here. Just to ask you while you're on that, do you think it is financial with Connor Goldson? Because I don't.
I think yeah. I think he's got one last decent move in him. And he could double his money going to that Premiership. Even if he's to a lower team in the Premiership, he'll double his money easy down there. So, yes, I think it's that. If he wins Europa League with Rangers, he's won the league last season, go out in a major high, win the Scottish Cup. He's done it up here, so why not have a crack down the Premiership with somebody?
Because he'll not get Champions League, but...
I know, but he's going to get double his money, and he's coming to that last 3 or 4 year contract. I would keep him all day long, because I think, well, he is our best defender. He's for us to replace Connor Goldson next season, it's going to be huge, and it's going to cost us money. John Souttar is not a replacement for Connor Goldson. No chance. Connor Goldson plays every single game for Rangers, and he has the last 4 years. This is a guy that's come back for major heart surgery when he was down at Brighton, and he's came up to us and he's played every single game. He wants to play every game. I like Goldson. I thought he got a lot of unfair criticism earlier this season, but he's dug himself back out, and I think he's been outstanding. With Lundstrom and Bassey, I think you could put Goldson in there as well. I think he's been outstanding. Marshall's that back line. You see him talking to young King at the weekend, always talking Goldson. So he's a major guy. Him with Tav on the right-hand side of him. He's a leader with Rangers, so I would keep him, but we can't break wage brackets, because when you start doing that, you go down a dangerous road when it comes to finances, and you don't want to do that. So, yes, I would keep him as long as it's within our financial bracket, if you know what I mean. But if he does go, I'll be sorry to see him, and it'll be a major loss, and we'll just need to move on next season.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it is a time will tell one. But that Scotia, I finally got to meet in person Chris from Rangers on Tour on Sunday, which was rather good. He's a lot taller than I thought he was, and gave me a right short man syndrome feeling when I was like, a very tall lad in comparison to me. But pleasure to finally meet you, Chris. It really was. and not over a Zoom call. Scotia, he was talking about Diallo, and apparently Diallo has said that he wants to remain here, whether it be another season-long loan. But apparently he quite likes it here, and he quite likes he's kind of built good relationships with the younger, the kind of B team players as well. He's built really good relationships with them. I don't know if that's a silly question or not. Obviously, he was pretty good on Sunday, and I still go down with it was a bit of a known dead rubber. There was not really a pressure on the game as such. I will give him his credit that he got halved in two about 4 times and he still got up and continued to run, which was good, and he showed real flashes. But Diallo, for you, mate, you give him another year here?
Right, sorry, you cut out for me there for a while, so I may repeat some of the stuff that you've said because I didn't hear what you were saying. But,
okay.
On
this is going
saying,
swimmingly well tonight.
Yeah. I've said before, I don't think Diallo's really been given a chance. I think after the Old Firm game, when he had that stinker, he's been pulled out of the team and he's not managed to get back in the team. He was very unlucky to be the one that got hooked, but probably rightly the one that got hooked when Balogun gets sent off against Motherwell. But the problem is he's a lone player, and I would rather, for next season, a player like Lowry there. Hadji will be coming back for injury. He needs to be playing. So I don't want to take on another lone player to then stop the time that one of our own players is going to be getting. So I can see where he's coming from with Diallo, because he does have something about him. He did look pretty decent in flashes there on Sunday. But to be honest, I would rather be... No, this is for a Lowry. This is for Hadji. Obviously, Arfield signing his contract extension. Arfield's been playing out there pretty effectively, considering that you wouldn't really imagine him playing out in the wide right. So for me, I suppose it all depends on what happens in terms of transfer business, who's away and who's coming in the summer. But I would rather us playing our own players, if I'm being honest.
I would agree. I think Gio will try his hardest to keep a core of players from leaving. I think Goldson maybe be part of that, because he just always plays. Same as Tavernier, he just always plays. Maybe that's where the Arfield thing's coming in. And I would imagine Davis, if Davis decides that he wants to continue to do another year, I would imagine Davis would be in that bracket as well. So it's going to be interesting. I think the ones on the kind of outskirts or the kind of fringes, if you like, they might be the ones that are maybe moved on, just depending how the summer's going. But I think it's an interesting summer to come, but we have a rather massive 2 games coming up. There's one particular game that we're all going to talk about. That's really the end of that. Right, gentlemen, cautious wee bit on time. We'll go on and talk about the new kit. So Rangers have launched, or Castor have launched the 3rd kit for next season, an orange and blue number. So I mean, I don't really know what my thoughts are about it. It's a weird time to do it, to be honest. I think it's a bit of a strange time to do it around this time. You don't often see it, but Ali, I'll come to you. What's your initial thoughts of it? You like it? You getting it?
Yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest. I know why Rangers are doing it, because they're going to make a lot of money. We've just got to a UEFA Cup final in Seville. The orange trees down there, it's all associated with the colour orange in Seville. There's an orange top for you to wear there. So the marketing team are bang on with it. So there was a queue outside Ibrox today. They will sell buckets of that top. See if they release that top next season. I don't know, a month into the season. Yeah, they would sell lots, but not as much as what they're going to sell now. So it's a marketing ploy. And I probably will buy it. I don't mind it. I think it's not that offensive. I like the orange. I'm wearing an orange top to training on. I do like the orange, the blue on it. I quite like it. Yeah, I probably will end up buying it. Gives me another top to wear in Seville when I'm out there, to be honest. So I will buy it. But they know what they're doing, Rangers. Again, it's a money-making ploy. As we got the email through today about my years as well, take more money out of your account too. So they know what they're doing, Rangers, and Castor as well. But it's a marketing thing. That is all it is.
Yeah, it reeks of that for me. Look, I don't want to be too negative about stuff, considering the kind of the high that we're on, but it just seems a wee bit, the timing of it, I'm a wee bit like, I mean, really, did you have to do it now? Ryan, I mean, it's better than that Hummel catastrophe that get brought out, the orange one, because that was a horrific looking thing that they brought out, that kind of Peely Wally orange thing that they brought out. So at least it's the right colour of orange, if that makes any sense. But what's your thoughts on it, mate? And you getting it? Hello, Ryan's cat.
So I think the cat's got an opinion on it here. Before we go into that, how great is John Lundstrom there? Jesus, you put that picture up. I've not thought about him for 20 minutes.
I know,
Absolutely fantastic.
honestly.
Let's have a look at that again. Look at him.
Oh, what a man. What a man.
Oh, best on earth. Best on earth. I think it's clever. Boys. I think we all know an orange top will sell thousands and thousands. There is no doubt about that. I think it's a clever thing. We have, scary to think, but we have a transfer window. When's the transfer window open? The 1st of July. I think the club are just trying to maximise getting the financial aspect of the club in check. And you might look at Rangers and they're going to slash some cash in the summer. It might be that. It might be something like that. I don't know. But I think it's a clever... If you don't like it, don't buy it. That's the way I look at these things.
Yeah.
It is. It's simple as that, and it sounds brutal. And we all have a joke about the Castor emails that we get and saying, "Oh, here's we got through to the next round T-shirt." But listen, it's an orange top. It will sell thousands upon thousands. I think it was Jamie Lowe or one of you put the picture of the queue at Ibrox today, and listen, it's clever. It's clever if it's Bisgrove or whoever it is. It's clever again. And yes, the timing is strange. But we have got, as you say, 2 huge games, 2 cup finals coming up next week, and let's get as many orange tops out there as possible. Let's get the money into Rangers, and let's see John Lundstrom in the orange. That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I will see it at the store. I'll give it a couple of days and let it calm down. And I'm pretty positive I'll walk out with it.
Yeah, see, at the start of this season, we got the kits released and we looked at them in the pictures and you couldn't really tell on the pictures whether you liked it or not. But in this case, I really do like it. And I think even going in to see it in the flesh, I'll like it even more. I really, personally, for me, I love the fact that the stars have been taken away from over the badge. I was mentioning you guys in the chat earlier today, I think that should only stay in place for 1, maybe 2 seasons after you've done the sort of 10th title in that kind of period, because I was looking at it. Alan McGregor played 1 game, I think, in the 2001-2002 season. He came off the bench, or he played in a league game right at the end of the season, in a League Cup game. Didn't play in the 2002-2003 season when we secured 50th. So he's the only current player in the team that's actually contributed to those 50 titles. And obviously Gio would have as well. But for me, I'm glad to see. I hope they're still kept on the top somewhere else, maybe like inside the back of the neck. I've not seen it yet, but I'm kind of glad that that's gone for me, because it's something that I've always felt it would be better to see that. But no, it looks great. And I know that the other kind of, although it's not official yet, I've seen the other kind of rumoured kits that are coming out, and I quite like the look of the away one, the black number with the blue. It'll just be interesting to see what they do with the sponsor there. I'm hoping it's blue as well rather than white. That might ruin it a wee bit, but that one looks pretty decent as well.
Yeah, there was also the rumour, the one that's gone out of the home one, that people said they got sent instead of when they ordered a Legends one. And you're like, I don't know if any of this is true. But look, Castor are no daft either, because you can't really... Maybe they're being smart by sending a few of these out to get the feelers. I'm not really sure, but... I'm going
to Turkey in a couple of weeks, so I'll be able to send you pictures of the new room top. You'll have it before anybody else.
Because that one that I've seen, it looks like it's a kind of a wee bit of flashback to the top that we wore in the very late 80s, kind of like the wee blue squares.
Yeah.
With different shades of blue. So no, I really like that top back in the day. So just wait and see.
I mean, I generally don't think I've truly loved a Castor top yet. Maybe apart from the Gallant Pioneer one, I do like that. I think that's real class. Real class. But if it wasn't for the 150th year, then that might never have happened. But this year's home one will obviously, depending on these 2 games, could be the greatest strip we've ever wore. So I think that we're going to need to wait and see. But like the purple one, I do think it's horrific. The black one, I think it's absolutely horrific. Honestly, I do. I don't like it. But yeah, Yeah, well, I'm going to buy it. I know I can't help myself. Of course, I'm going to go and buy it. Anyway, right, let's move on to the next game. Again, we do have another game to go. Oh, 2 games to go yet. 2 games, man, honestly. It's the Ross County preview. So last game at Ibrox this season as we take on Ross County on Wednesday evening. Ali, are you expecting the same amount of rotation?
Yeah. I think we might see a couple of the big hitters come in, because the way I look at it is, if they play Wednesday night, I wouldn't rest them all up to the cup final, because that's a layoff of nearly 2 weeks. So I potentially bring a couple of the big hitters in for Wednesday, give them 60 minutes, take them off, don't play them against Hearts. Then that gives them a full week they can prepare for the cup final. So yeah, I think you may see a couple of your. I'm not going to give you my team. Well, I don't know if you'll come for teams, but
Aye, might as well.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, Well, there's going to be. I reckon some of the big hitters will come back in. Me and Scotia talked about this in the pub on Sunday, and Scotia was saying that he thought they would do the same kind of thing, because if you don't want to bring that momentum away for the Rangers team, if you know what I mean, but just taking them all out and just not playing them till the cup final. So that's why we've seen Goldson, Tav, Scott Wright, Scott Arfields play at the weekend. I think he'll do the same thing. And I think a lot of the young boys will get a game too, but some of the big hitters I think will come back in for tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can, Scotia, I think it was you that actually brought that up initially, and I think you're probably pretty spot on that it's probably important that they still continue to get some competitive minutes. I mean, it's okay running about a training field, but they do need to be in game mode, if that makes sense. And your kind of standard normal football, well, back in the day anyway, it's probably not like that now in many leagues, but it's a game a week. So Ali's probably right, there might be a few the big hitters return.
Yeah, I think so. I think that you need to bring some certain players in for this, just to keep them fresh and keep them ticking over. I mean, Ross County do still have something to play with, like Ali alluded to there earlier, similar to Dundee United, that they're still that wee spot, and because they get beat against Motherwell at the weekend, they're now down sitting 6th, so they really need to get a result to secure themselves European football next season, which I'm sure will be a big incentive for them. And they've given us scored what? 7 goals against us this season, Ross County, and the games we've played. It's two 4-2s and that 3 each. That disaster show that we had the last time we played them. Yeah. The McGregor didn't cover himself in glory that game, did he? But yeah, no. So I expect the team to come in, keep it a bit fresh, because the game, if you look at it, the game on Sunday against Hearts, I mean, both teams are just. I think both teams will put out like. Are completely the weird teams, because it's both teams will get the cup final that they'll be looking to. So I think you'll maybe see quite a few Kerry first team players in this game.
Yeah, Ryan, if we mentioned this, mate, you brought it up, that due to this ridiculous split that there is in Scotland that we have to suffer every year. If it wasn't there, Ross County would be 9th right now. Do you know what I mean? I think Livingston, Aberdeen are the team that below that would be below them. So I think they would be 9th, which is just honestly ludicrous with a stupid league that we have to play in. But are you pretty much the same, mate? You expecting a changed team, but not unrecognisable?
Yeah, I wrote my team down and I found it very hard to pick it, because I think he'll start a couple of the young boys. I know we'll go into our teams, but I do think Lowry will start. I think, but I totally agree with Ali and Scotia that he is going to play. I think Lundstrom will maybe start. I think Bassey might start, maybe just 45 minutes just to get the minutes in the legs, keep them fresh, keep that match sharpness, keep the momentum, and then just boom, wrap them in cotton wool till next Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm expecting a couple of players to start, a couple of big players to start, but I think he'll also keep the youth players. Definitely Lowry. I think Lowry's a stick on to start, and possibly King as well, because they deserved it, and I think they should start. Tomorrow and Saturday. Is it Sunday we play, or is it Saturday, Scotia?
Oh no, it's Saturday. No, you're right. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. Yeah. So I think the young boys like King and Lowry deserve to play. They've earned their right in that team now. So I hope they do play tomorrow and Sunday. But yeah, I think it'll be a a mixed team, and I'll be very surprised if any of us get this team.
I will be shocked if we do as well, to be honest. I've already changed it 3 times as we've been just talking in the last couple of minutes. Right, Ali, you can go first, mate. Who's your team and what's your score?
I've not written it down, so I'm just going out off the top of my head here. I think McGregor will come back in. So McGregor, Tav and Goldson, I think will play. Don't think they'll play against Hearts, but Tav, Goldson, King, Bassey at left back, Lundstrom, Kamara, James Sands up top, Ryan Kent, I think will come back in. The man for Zambia through the middle, and Lowry. That's my team.
Fair. So I was the same up till you got to Sands, and I think he'll play Lowry there in the 10, and I think he'll play Kent, Sakala and Aribo on the right-hand side to give Aribo legs because he didn't feature at all. He wasn't even on the bench, I don't think, at the weekend.
Is he all right, Aribo, though? I mean...
It was concussion, though, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I think it's concussion. So that all depends, obviously, on that. But you usually recover quite quickly from a concussion. Usually.
2-week protocol, I think.
Oh, is it 2 weeks, is it?
I'm sure a concussion protocol's 2 weeks. I'm sure I heard someone mention that, if it was maybe on Heart and Hand or if someone's mentioned it on Twitter or something.
Well, he won't feature then. Well, for Aribo, I'll play Scott Arfield. I think it might be quite a strong-ish team. And then
he missed Diallo as well. Forgot about Diallo.
Oh, Diallo might play through the middle actually instead of Sakala. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What was your score, Ali? Did you see a score as well?
2-0 Rangers, and it'll be the man for Zambia will score it.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Rangers, and I'll go Diallo to score. Scotia, your team and your score.
Yeah, so I'm bringing McGregor back in goals because something we've not mentioned is this could potentially be his last game at Ibrox.
Oh, true. There you go. Well done, Scotia.
Play him, and also I think leaving him out for too long, he might just get that wee bit rusty. So I think we need to play him like a week apart. That'd be ideal. Backline's the exact same as Pearson's with Tav, Goldson, King and Bassey. I'm bringing Jack into the midfield for this game. Maybe play Lundstrom in the weekend, and along with Davis as well. And then Kent coming back into the team, play Ramsey again to get him some more minutes. Lowry as well, and then
forgot about Ramsey.
Gio's not had a press conference. I don't know what the situation with Roof is, but I might maybe start with Roof if he's fit again, just to get him some minutes. And then I would maybe take him off at half time if he is fit, just to get him some minutes. And I'm going 2-0 as well with Lowry as the first goal scorer.
Sounds good. Ryan, teams and score. Forgot. By the way, I did forget about Aaron Ramsey. Completely forgot about him. Completely forgot about him.
We did it again.
No,
not for the first time this season, right enough.
No.
See, in terms of Aribo, just before I give my team, you said 2 weeks concussion. Does that rule him out the final?
Oh, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've not looked into it, but when they said that, I was like, well, that's him out at the final. But so I don't know. Hopefully, he's just been rested. But I'm fairly certain someone had said that it's like
hopefully you would think
weeks.
Right, well, we'll worry about that next week. I've went McLaughlin, Tav, Goldson, King, Bassey, Lundstrom centre mid, and either side of him I think I'll be wrong, but I would like it, is Charlie McCann and Lowry, and up front I've gone Kent, Sakala, and running down the wing, Diallo. And I'm going 4-0 Diallo, scoring first.
That'll do. If one of them ones we don't really know. There'll be a lot of sports scientist things happening just now in terms of who plays and how many minutes they need, etc., etc. So all that is going to come into play. But last game at Ibrox, be good. It's always good for the last game of the season to be there. And yeah, looking forward to going to Ibrox as always. So that'll do us for tonight. Alistair Pearson, thank you very much, mate, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. Look forward to being at Ibrox for the last game of the season, going into 2 cup finals, which I never thought I'd be saying about 5 weeks ago. So, No, buzzing to be at Ibrox, and just it's another day I can tick off that moves me towards Seville.
Yeah, it's another one of them games. Tick. Okay, staunch points are done now. I can watch the Hearts game from my bed on Saturday. Yeah, and then we're on to it. Yeah, Scotia, cheers, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like Ali, very much looking forward to the next kind of 4 games that we've got. But the next 2 ones, I'm kind of like, please get out of the way so that we can get to the important 2 ones.
Definitely, man. Ryan, thank you as always, man.
Cheers, boys. Looking forward to Ibrox tomorrow. I'm taking my dad and the 2 boys are going as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And yes, as the boys say, we're another day closer. We're on our way.
We are on our way. So thank you, everybody. As always, like the videos and please subscribe to the channel. We will be back with a club reaction pod on Wednesday night after the game. Might just be me, probably, from the car. But yeah, until then, as I say, thank you for tuning in. 2 more games to go. Just keep ticking them off and we'll continue our podcast right up to the day. Don't you worry about that. So yeah, we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and I'll speak to you all next time. Cheers, everybody.